iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Well, welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Oxford Plains Speedway, playing host to round number 8 of the LFOD Motorsports Northeast Racers. It is the Racing School 75 here tonight, and I'll be your host. My name is Roger Muth, and alongside me up here in the virtual Turn 3 Racing Studios, it is my good friend Al Smith. Al, tonight, a 3/8 of a mile track here, and, well, we've seen some great races in the past by the Northeast Racers. Last season, that super late model race, a lot of side-by-side racing action. Tonight, they got the old street stocks out 8 mile.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great racing so far this season. Only 4 weeks will remain after that, as you mentioned, round 8 of 12 here tonight. So Oxford playing host to that, and we've got a great field of cars stand in, ready to do some racing here tonight for us. But Oxford, one of those tracks where you have to be patient, but the patience runs thin.
Short track racing always plays a big factor into patience, so we'll see how everybody handles it here tonight. We'll see where the fire is between the old driver's seat, the helmet, the wheels, the pedals. We'll see which one of these drivers have the fire to dig down deep inside. We talked about it. This is round number 8 coming up here tonight that we're about to watch here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. So that means, well, 8, 9, 10, 11. Al, there's only 4 more races left after this. David Greenslade, he's picked up 2 wins this season. Vern Woodard, Ryan Carman won a couple weeks ago. Ryan Battle has parked himself in victory lane. And Jimmy Renfrew, who we haven't seen in a couple weeks, he went back-to-back.
Yeah, so it's been a very mix-up in the races here the last few weeks, and it's going to be interesting to see who does what. Right now, David Greenslade is leading the championship battle coming into Oxford. Oxford, one of those tracks where anything can happen. You're going to see the chrome horn used a little bit here, I believe. And I say a little bit in quotation marks, Rogers. You can't really see us in the booth the way they got it set up here, but air quotes around a little bit around the chrome horn term there. But I think with these street stocks, we should see possibly 2 grooves of action as qualifying just wrapped up. And it looks like we're going to have 2 heats of action here tonight.
So as we get ready for heat races here tonight, our main event will be brought to us tonight by TheRacingSchool.net. They just wrapped up their Valentine's Day gift, Al, and I think I saw in my inbox, I think you bought me one. We'll go over that a little bit later, but let's head down trackside here tonight to get our peek at our LFOD Motorsports starting lineup here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole, driving the number 35, this is Milton Duran. He'll start P number 1. Paul McCorby. You haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He'll drive the 87 here tonight, starting P number 2. The LA Sim Sport Young Guns Creation number 24 of Alan Young will roll off third. Fourth tonight will go to the 03, the Sim Cube entry of Nathan Wenzel. Starting in the 5th position, driving the 01 tonight, it is Rodney Hontoon. Piloting the number 66, it's going to be Mike Young. Starting in the 6th, he drives the 66. That's Mike Young. Starting in the 7th position, driving the 471, he is a driver out of both series, the Contender Series and the Championship Series. This is Eric Lamasco. Starting in position number 8, driving car number 16 here tonight, this is Ryan Battle. Starting in the final position here will be the driver of the 51, that is Jonathan Latorno. That is your 9-car starting field. You see the 10th place driver, that is Tony Quadros, how we talk about it week in and week out. That's a harder job than you or I would like to have.
Yes, been in that role, and hats off to Tony for what has been a very successful season up until this part, and I expect the same for the remaining races of the season. But Tony not able to get out onto the racetrack. I know that he would much rather be behind the wheel than doing the job that he's doing, but you know, it's one of those jobs that is thankless, Roger, and well, we tip the cap to him.
We do thank him and everything he does. I actually just saw him out on track the other night here in the Contender Series. He was out here with the Street Stocks division, and I believe I saw him finish on the podium. So a race control that can race. It's kind of sort of like the broadcaster that knows how to make left-hand turns too occasionally.
Yeah, I've heard that you're pretty good behind the wheel.
Let's just leave it at that. We can get behind the wheel. I don't know if we're pretty good, but we like to trade some paint occasionally. Cars are out on the track. They are rolling for heat race number 1. We have already went through that starting lineup. So as we get ready to go heat race racing tonight, caution flags will not count here in the heat races, nor will caution laps count when we get to our main event here in a little bit. So these drivers, remember, it is Al top 5 advancing. Believe
Right, I was just going to go over the housekeeping list. They're going to have top 5, 8 laps in distance for our heat races. If they do decide to run the B main here tonight, I believe there are everybody that's signed in to race here tonight will be in the main event with 23 cars signing in to do battle. For us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we thank you all for tuning in out there as the pace car about ready to get in. 8 laps of distance, top 5, automatic ticket punched to the main event. Green flag is up, and we are underway with our first heat race of the evening.
As they go down in turn number 1, it'll be Milton Duran down to the bottom side of the speedway. He's got the Young Guns Creation number 24 hot to trot. Behind him, Paul McCorby going to lose one spot down the back straightaway. Looks like he should be able to find a home right in front of the 01 of Rodney Hontoon. But lap number 1 going to go in the books just like that. 7 laps to go. Heat race number 1. First lap, Milton Duran. Now here comes Rodney Hontoon in that 802 Precision Machine. As 03 wide racing towards the back of the field. That's the 03 of Nathan Wenzel. He's going to go from inside that top 6 to sitting back there running 9th now as they all go single file, all chasing that number 35, the Milton Duran entry. He is out front of Alan Young.
Yeah, Duran showing the way over Milton, or over Young. Hontoon up to the 3rd spot. He's up to, if he started 5th, the inside line moving forward here so far. A little bit of a battle back here to 16, a battle working underneath the 471 of Pomasco. That door was shut. Now the 66 of Young will sling to the outside. And the 51 of Latorno trying to make his way up towards the front. Everybody's still keeping it P's and Q's. This time by, cross flags are in. 3 wide at the stripe for 7th.
Yeah, one of those cars were just down there running on the bottom side of the speedway. That was that green machine. That was the 471 of Pomasco. He was almost sitting down on pit road with that car, and he stacked him up back here. Ryan Battle still battling to the outside. Your top 4 with 3 laps to go. They are single file. It's Duran, Young, Hontoon, and McCorby. These drivers are all stacked up, and Al, as you would say, they are jelly tight back here as they work down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Wenzel now going to work to the inside of the 66 of Young. He'll make that pass as he's trying to find Latorno. The 16 of Battle up on the outside, ripping the lip on the outside of the speedway. Maybe some daylight there, not quite. The hole will be filled by Latorno down the back stretch. This time off at turn number 4, it'll be white flag for the Milton Duran number 35. Final trip around the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Looks good down to the turn number 1. Leaves himself about a half a car length down to the bottom side of the speedway. Half a groove up in turn 1. Turn number 3, got to do the same exact thing. So he'll come off turn number 4. He'll take the checkered flag here tonight. Milton Duran, Alan Young, Rodney Hontoon, Paul McCorby, Eric Plamasco, Nathan Wenzel come across the line with Jonathan Latorno, Ryan Battle, and Mike Young rounding out the 9-car field for heat race number 1 here tonight for the Racing School night at the Oxford Plains Speedway. So, wow, heat race number 1 now, just in the blink of an eye, it's already gone.
Yeah, quick heat race there for the Northeast Racers. Heat number 2 rolling out onto the grid, and this is your starting lineup. Starting up on the front row will be car number 29. That is Max Dolliver. Max Dolliver in the Ben & Jerry's number 29. Starting on the outside of him will be the 73 of Vernon Woodard, who had a good showing last week. Kyle Buck in the 05 will start third. Outside of him will be the 14, the second of the battles. That is Jeffrey Battle in car number 14. David Greenslet, your championship leader, will start 5th here in heat race number 2 in the Vermont Green Cabinetry. Car number 20, that is David Greenslet. Outside of him, Eric Laurendale and car number 46. Drew Davis in car number 22. They'll look like team cars as they are the teammates on the racetrack. There's Drew Davis, car number 22. Mike Tastro and Dan Butler will start 8th and 9th, and those, I believe, Roger, are both from the racing school at the Thompson Raceway.
Yeah, both those drivers at the tail of the field here tonight, out of the racing school at the Thompson Speedway. Of course, race fans, thanks for all tuning in here tonight. Make sure you head over to theracing.school.net today and make sure you sign up to head over to the most historic short track in the USA as we get ready to go racing here. This is heat race number 2 as they're coming out of turn number 4. Woodard and Dolliver are going to hit the gas pedal. They are going to go like heck down into turn number 1. Heat race number 2 is underway here, and it looks like the outside lane a little bit better down in 1 and 2. We're seeing Vernon Woodard is going to be able to hang on to that for the time being. Lap number 1 about to be complete, and it's going to be the outside driver, Vernon Woodard, leading this time by.
Woodard keeping the momentum up on the outside. He'll almost clear the 29. We got 2 cars in the back together. That's the 46 of Laurendo and the 18 of Butler. Meanwhile, door-to-door, a little bit of trade being paint off of turn number 4, as that'll be Dolliver shown as your race leader. Vernon Woodard really hanging it up on the outside as they work down the backstretch. They are still wheel-to-wheel in the turn number 3. Dolliver down to the inside. He's going to bring the 05 of Buck with him. And the 20 of Greenslet trying to figure out which lane to go with and which lane is going to go forward. And now it'll be Dolliver grabbing sole possession of the race lead. Say hit turn number 3.
So that's going to move Woodard back to the second position for the time being. There's the B-tuned entry 05 of Kyle Buck. He was just down there on that curbing. We haven't even got to discuss the curbing down there all the way around the inside of the speedway here tonight. Kyle Buck hit it up into the door there of the 73 of Vernon Woodard. That'll move him back to running in third. David Greenslet, the wily veteran, the Division II NASCAR Street Stock champion. He's back here. He's just riding around in that Vermont Cabinetry number 20. He's sitting back there into the 4th position. The crew chief, actually, for that car. You see him just back there? That green and black machine that's being hounded by the Racing School number 33, that's Drew Davis. So remember, Al, we talked about him last week. It's good to see Drew back out onto the iRacing.com platform. We missed him for a couple of weeks, but he is here, and right now he's running in the 5th position as the popsicle sticks that time by go up into the air. All drivers, all 9 drivers that did take this green flag here for heat race number 2 are still out onto the speedway as this time by. It'll be the white flag.
Yeah, the white silk will fly. It'll be the final trip around the speedway for Drew Dolliver in the Ben & Jerry's ice cream sponsor 29, trying to make it away. Here comes Kyle Buck. He'll take a peek down to the inside. Can't quite do it. He's got the nose there. Dolliver to the outside. It's going to be a drag race off turn number 4. And at the line, it is going to be, well, I'm showing Dolliver. That was too close to call. I think Dolliver's going to pick up the heat race win. Buck, Woodard, Greenslet, and Davis, your top 5. That'll move in automatically to the main event. So now we'll take and see if the last chance showdown will take place. And I don't believe so. It is going to go right to our 2-minute hot lap period for everybody. So just like that, qualifying in the books, Roger. And I tell you right now, this feature event is going to be as exciting as the heat race number 2 results right there. You saw the drag race at the line. And how about Dolliver holding on to that heat race win just by the bumper cap?
Yeah, take a look here if we can get our crew to bring up the results there for heat race number 2. Let's see if we can get that pulled up. And let's try that again. There we go. There's the heat race number 2. Dolliver, look at that, Al. It was .013 at the line, and you saw him sailing off down into the grass. He actually did not lift from the entire time, from the center of 3 and 4 all the way to the end, well, of turn 2. He sailed it down there, missed turn 1, just decided to run the ghost wall, we'll call that out there. Here, that's presented by iRacing here tonight, and, well, he was able to pick up that win, so congratulations to Dolliver. That's actually his first heat race win of the year, so that's also a big thing. We're over halfway done, and he decides to take the gloves off here. He's going to go to victory lane in heat race number 2. So that's going to set the field pretty much for tonight. The top 5 from our qualifying session did go straight into our A main event. So once we get to that starting lineup here tonight, looks like in about 30 seconds, we will go ahead and invert the top 5. So first is going to start 5th. 5th is going to start 1st. That's how that'll work. But we're going to wet the old whistle real quick here as they're in our little bit of a warm-up session. And we're getting ready for the main event tonight, brought to us by The Racing School. All right, race fans, you can see him out onto the speedway. It is time to start going through your lineup here tonight for the Northeast Racers, presented by LFOD Motorsports. Just taking a quick gander over here, Al, and it does look like we will start 23 cars here tonight, and this is your starting lineup. Starting on P number 1, he qualified 5th, but the invert puts him P number 1. It's the 55 of Kyle Willis. Starting to his outside, it's the Horse Dog Motorsports number 32 of Eric Steele. Starting in the 3rd position, driving the 36, it's Joel Hodgson. Starting in position number 4, it's the youngster, the 45 of Casey Bietti. Ryan Cartman, he'll start the Kit Kat Machine 05 or 08 in the 5th position. Milton Duran will go 6th after his heat race win. Max Dolliver will go 7th. He won heat race number 2. 8th tonight will go to the Young Guns Creation number 24 of Alan Young. 9th to Kyle Buck, and 10th to Rodney Hondoon.
Starting on the inside of row number 6, that is Vernon Woodard, and car number 73. Outside of him will be the 87. That's Paul McCorby. David Grease, that's going to roll off 13th. Outside of him will be the 471 of Eric Pomasco. Pomasco is going to start 14th on the grid. 15th will go to Drew Davis. So the driver and crew chief combination starting in sequence in the 15th spot. 16th spot will go to the SimCube 03 of Nathan Wenzel. Mike Tastro in car number 33 will start 17th. Jonathan Latorno will start in the 18th spot in car number 51. Row number 10 is going to see Jeffrey Battle in car number 14. Outside of him, the 16, that is Ryan Battle. 21st is going to go to Eric Lorando, and Mike Young in car number 66 will start 22nd. And shotgun on the field, the number 18 of Dan Butler, and he's got the full field in front of him. He's only got one way to go.
And that's straight to the front here tonight. iRacing Pace Car going to jump off the speedway here, race fans. We're ready to go in the Racing School.net 75 here from the Oxford Plains Speedway. It's off the racing surface. Let's hit the gas. Let's get ready. We're green flag racing here tonight. Sunday night short track racing action with the LFOD Northeast Racers. And it will be Kyle Willis that's going to get the jump down the back straightaway. He'll take the early lead over the Swag TV 32 of Eric Steele. Here comes Joel Hodgson. He's going to fill the gap. That'll be the battle for second as lap 1 goes to Kyle Willis.
Willis going to lead lap number 1, the outside line getting stacked up behind the 32 of Steele. Now, right now, it's a very critical part of this race. 75 laps is a very long time to go. You got to try to save your tires. I don't believe they get tires here tonight, so that you start with what you are on. And it's easy to burn them up, especially running the outside of the racetrack. But Eric Steele started on the outside of the front row. He has slid back to the 4th spot. Here comes Dolliver. We saw him pick up the heat race win as Casey Bietti gets out of shape off turn number 4.
Bietti all sorts of out of shape, and he's going to lose a couple of spots, but he hangs on to her, and he keeps on rowing. Right now, though, there's battles all over the place. There's that 24 stuck right there. Well, he's stuck on the outside. That's Alan Young, the Young Guns Creation. Here comes the 33 of Mike Tashiro. And boy, If he can wheel and deal the way he does up at the Thompson Speedway when he's giving guys a ride, I heard he made a guy cry last year. I believe that was Josh Buckley that got to ride along with him. Al, you and I both know Josh, and we haven't met Mike yet, but we know Josh very well. And if that man cries, Mike can make anybody cry.
Yeah, a little bit uneasy there. Is now Bietti's going to try to drop down in front of the 22 at Davis. Can't quite make it happen. But Tastro's been getting better week in and week out. He's had a rough start to the season. Finally getting the legs underneath him here, and he is moving forward. Already up 6 spots since the green flag is dropped as he works underneath the 35 of Duran now. He'll work to the outside, inside of the 45 of Casey Bietti, and that Verizon number 45 working the outside of the racetrack. Bietti is on the wrong side of the conveyor belt right now. As now Young is working the inside as Tastro slings it a little bit sideways. Maybe heating that right rear tire. You got to take care of him. Is now open the inside line. Here comes Alan Young. Young to the inside in the turn number 3.
Yeah, Tashro left the door open as he slid that right rear. Now Alan Young goes right on by. Here comes Milton Duran in the number 35. He's going to look to do the same thing. It does look like Bietti found the home there running in the 13th position. Where will Tashro wind up as, and well, their battle back there, but not for the race lead. As there you see the number 55 of Kyle Willis. He'll come by the start-finish line. He'll lead lap number 9. It's been 9 laps out front for Kyle Willis here tonight. Joel Hodgson picks up 1. Ryan Carmen has picked up 2 spots. Eric Steele in that Speedball Bearing Swag TV entry. He has moved back to running in the 4th position. It's still Drew Dale, one of them up the speedway. Milton Duran, now the 33 entry, door banging off turn number 4 there. That was the 33 of Tashro. He just banged off the door of Rodney Hontoon. The 35 of Milton Duran also had a moment, and he's now sliding backwards on the top side of the speedway. That's Lorendo down to the inside. He's flirting with that line down on the bottom. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Boy, racing everywhere here tonight at Oxford, and they're not done with it.
Yeah, they're racing fierce there. Penel Pomasco is going to go to the inside. I believe that is the number 87 of McCorby, and we get orange and purple automobile. Yeah, the 87 of McCorby. He kind of got stuck 3 wide there. Is now everybody single files it out. Eric Steele has the back pocket full of Ben & Jerry's. We'll call it the I want to get by you flavor. It is a Dolliver all over the back bumper. Is given the 32 Steele car a couple love taps, but still able to keep it in front of them right now, holding down that 4th spot as they chase down your race leaders. Hodgson and Carmen not really battling each other, and they're starting to close the gap in on Willis.
Yeah, that gap has started to shrink. Last time by at the line, it was actually Ryan Carmen who was the fastest driver out onto the speedway. Well, he's no stranger to being up front. He came into the night running 4th in our championship.
Full contact in turn number 1 to 22. And Davis is going to go over the banking. He's gone for an off-road excursion. Yellow flag going to come out. I believe there might have been contact between Davis and the 45 of Bietti. I just caught the tail end of it. We'll see if the truck has catches it, but I believe that the yellow flag is for the 22 of Drew Davis.
Yeah, I believe that is. It's going to be a 1-car incident for the time being. Let's see if we can go back and see who helped out the number 22 of Drew Davis. Says, oh, it looks like it's going to be Casey Bietti, who gets down. He was sideways out of 4 and then caught that left rear of Drew Davis, and Drew Davis up over and out of the ballpark. So we're calling a 2-car little scuffle with one of them going up and over that berm. There you see Drew Davis coming back out onto the speedway. But now he'll have to start shotgun to the field. And, I mean, there's still a lot of racing action to go here tonight. Not to the halfway point home yet.
No, 16 laps are in the books. We'll complete 16 laps, I should say. They were working lap 16, as it does look like the 45 of Bietti is being sent pale for being in part with that yellow flag coming out. The first one of the evening. Racing's been hot and heavy here in the feature. We saw the outside. You're able to run up there for the first couple laps. Now we're going to get a double file restart. And, racing at Oxford here many times, Roger. I can tell you right now, if you're in odd position, you are loving life. You're an even number, you're kicking and screaming, praying that maybe it will be a single file restart.
Yeah, right now Kyle Willis is going to be sitting in a catbird seat. He's right where he would like to be. Ryan Carmen's where he wants to be. Max Dolliver also, and Vernon Woodard, the drivers inside that top 10 right now that are all going, all right, I've got the inside. It's where I need to be. And you talk about why. Well, why do you want to be to the inside? It's because you can see as we look down from over top here with our racing school blimp camera here tonight, see all the marbles? You see them to the outside of the track. You see them down on the apron of the track here tonight. Al, the marbles are thick, and you don't want to be in them because if you do, it's just like driving on ice.
Yeah, you get them on your tires, and it's the best way is you take it's the balls of rubbers that these tires have shredded off, and it's literally driving on ice if you get them on there, especially with these street stock tires are skinny as it is, not a lot of tread on them, and if you get gummed up with these, you're going to be in trouble. So we're going to see this restart. It's going to be quite wild, I feel. I hope you're strapped in, and put your mouth guard in, Roger. The pace car is in. It'll be Willis and Hodgson on the front row. Green flag is up. Eric Steele on the loud pedal. He'll get the back bumper of Hodgson. Hodgson jumps out to your race leader. Willis back to the inside in the turn number 3. Dolliver trying to make some room underneath the 32 of Steele. Steele's going to slam the door shut. He'll keep it on the outside. Dolliver going to try to fill the inside line. Still side by side for your race lead.
Yeah, to be Kyle Willis leading at the line, and well, that outside lane, that's the first time we've seen anybody really be able to make a move. Right now, though, Joel Hodgson now is trending in the backwards direction. There goes Ryan Carmen. He'll pick up P number 2, and now Hodgson going to have to go down to the bottom side of the speedway. He does find a home as now Max Dolliver, Eric Steele are the first 2 cars that are running side by side. There's Vernon Woodard right there also, and boy, are they still beating and banging off each other. That's the onboard camera footage there. This is with Vernon Woodard as he runs to the inside of Eric Steele.
Steele gets a little bit loose there. Now they're going to be 3 wide as Steele, I believe, has picked up some of those marbles that we were talking about. He has lost some positions. He slid back to the 8th spot after restarting 4th. Still door-to-door. Mike Tastro is cracked the top 10 and not done yet. Don't put the nose down low underneath Eric Steele, but Steele's going to slam the door shut off turn number 4.
Yeah, Eric Steele, a very, very, I don't want to call him a wily veteran here on iRacing, but he knows how to handle and wheel and deal, and he knew there was a little bit of a gap, and if he didn't get down in front of that 33, he was still going to trend backwards, and he would have been on the outside of that top 10 looking in. Right now, Eric Steele is currently sitting there in that 8th position, as now Milton Duran looks to the inside of that 33, and Duran now on the curbing as they're stacked up 3 wide down the back straightaway. They're heading to 3.
Milton Duran on the inside. Kyle Buck sways up in the outside, up into the marbles, and right in the middle is your championship leader. Tense moments there for David Greenslet. Greenslet started in the 13th position, now finds himself in the 10th as we close in the lap 24 here tonight of our 75-lap feature event by the Racing School. And it has been a great race as everybody battling 4 positions around the racetrack. Kyle Buck still stuck to the outside as he's got Ryan Battle now in car number 16 to his inside, and Rodney Huntoon in that 0-1 trying to stretch his legs as fast as he can to fill that hole, so that way the 0-5 of Buck will not be able to get down. We've got some bumper tag going on in the back of the field. Casey Bietti, we saw him involved in that first yellow flag. He has made it all the way back to the 18th position. Now he's trying to work underneath the 87 of McCorby. Meanwhile, Willis still up front over Carmen. Hodgson, Dolliver up to 4th, and Vernon Woodard now rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, watching the 45 of Casey Bietti here, he uses that inside curbing to his advantage, Al. He's putting that left front tire right down on the curbing and getting it to rotate that car coming off the corner. And he has been able to wheel and deal right onto the back bumper of that number 87 of McCorby. Not quite able to make the pass right now as one driver has gone around. And I believe that's the 24 of Alan Young, and the caution flag will come out here with, it looks like, 26 laps completed here tonight at the Oxford Plains Speedway. There you see the FSM Young Guns Creation, number 24 of Alan Young. I believe that's what the caution is for. We'll see what the truck tells us, what they have. Let's take the look back here on the replay. Here you see the 14 of Ryan Battle, or Jeffrey Battle, right behind the Young Guns Creation. Oh, they stack them up. The Ben and Jerry's machine actually gets a little sideways, and then Vernon Woodard is sideways, and the track kind of gets clogged, but nobody goes fully around. But the iRacing officials say, put it out.
Yeah, it must have been a Phantom, maybe a Phantom yellow here, but either way, yellow flag coming out for the second time here tonight in what has been a great event for the Racing School 75 at the Oxford Plains Speedway. We just saw how crazy the last restart was. This one I expect to be the same. It was just, that was Oxford Racing 101 right there. Just someone makes a bobble and you're so close nose to tail with each other, and it's hard to to stay off of them. I don't really put blame on anybody for bringing out the second flag there, but maybe Barney the flagman a little bit eager on throwing that yellow silk.
Yeah, Barney always likes to try and keep these drivers lined up and close to each other, so that, you know, he's a stickler up there. He sees a little smoke, he gets antsy, he wants to make sure all the drivers are safe and well out there, and nobody gets themselves a little bit of advantage. You know, Al, we did talk about these street stocks, though. We talked about the small tire. They are 15-inch tires, 8-inch wide. So it's 15 by 8 on these tires. They are the Bias Ply Hoosier tire. The wheelbase is 107 inches standard, weighing in at 3,400 pounds in a 4-speed transmission. The horsepower, though, is way too much for you to handle out. It's 375 horsepower. It's a small block Chevy. Of course it would be.
First of all, you can't. The small block Chevy never starts for me, being a Ford man.
Well, that might be the problem for you. You circled your own problem. Of course, we are here at the Oxford Plains Speedway, and, well, Al, it seats 14,000 fans. Unfortunately, right now with the COVID restrictions all around the country, 14 fans are not in attendance on a weekly basis. Over the summer, they're up at the Oxford Plains Speedway. This did open back in 1950 as a half-mile dirt track. So, I mean, you and I, we would love that short track, but or dirt track, but we love this asphalt here as they're getting ready to go back green.
That green flag back out, and as Willis showing away, Joel Hodgson giving Willis a little bit of a help giddy up go. Is now the 08 of Carmen to the outside. We saw Dolliver pick up the heat race win earlier on. Hills working the outside as Alan Young was able to retain his spot as he'll take away the 4th spot from Dolliver at the stripe. Lap 29 as they work through turns 1 and 2. Eric Steele up the racetrack as we got one car with a little bit of electrical issues. That's the 35 of Duran. How about Mike Tasher? 1 spot outside of a top 5 is ran from the back. He is the hardest charger so far, up 11 spots here tonight.
So you're saying the Racing School hard charger tonight is the Racing School driver? Knock on wood quick, Al, for him. He's had a rough go of it as of late, though, and here on iRacing, so we'll see if he can hold on to the charge moving towards the front, because right now he's got Ryan Carbon stuck to the outside of the Monster Energy Kit Kat entry. And David Greenslit's right behind him. Eric Steele still going backwards as they're 3 wide. Wenzel, Pontoon down to the inside. Laurendeau going to have to gather up that 46. He was sideways, and everybody is going to be A-OK as they're 2x2 back here for about the 13th position.
Yeah, a lot of jostling for a position all the way around the speedway as they work off of turn number 2. Down the back stretch, they will drag races the 471 of Pamasco. We're underneath the 45 of Bietti. Bietti up to your 16th spot now is the Pamasco going to go for an off-road excursion. They'll open the in-store line, and Bietti's going to throw it down and low. Steele going to try to cross him over off of turn number 2. Can't quite do it as there's bumper tag between the SimCube 03 of Wenzel and the 46 of Lotorno. As they still are bouncing off each other. 2x2. Jeffrey Battle in the 14th is in the back of the field now. It's still working at the 471 of Pamasco.
Milton Duran still having some issues. It looks like he has possibly pulled his machine into pit road here for the time being. It looks like he is not being scored anymore here from our iRacing official timing and scoring loop. But you do see that's the 08 of Ryan Carbon at the outside as Wenzel, who transferred in from running the Contender Series. There you see him running in the 12th position. Or sorry, that's the 11th position actually. As now he should work into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. That SimCube driver moving up 6 positions.
Yeah, right in front of them is the number 16, Orion Battle, up 13 spots from his 20th starting spot. He's right in the 7th position. He's looking to close in on the 20 of David Greenslet. Greenslet with a nose down low underneath Tashro number 33. Couldn't quite do it this time off of turn number 4. We will stay green as now the top 3 cars are nose to tail. Will is trying to hold on to, but we got yellow flag out on the racetrack. Looks like possibly could be for the 471 of Pamasco, who gets it pointed in the right direction. So we are slowed for the 3rd time just at the halfway point of this race.
So halfway home here in the RacingSchool.net 75 at the Oxford Plate. Al, did you just catch that pace car going up and over the light pole?
Well, yeah, it's a Ford. It can do anything.
Boy, that was pretty interesting. But let's check this out. The truck says they have what the caution flag was for. As we watch that 471 there of Eric Plomasco, and there you see him and Vernon Woodard make contact, and Plomasco just barely avoids the electrical pole down there. Hits a little bit of those dirt, we're calling them the little jumps. I saw a couple of these drivers having some fun down there in practice, as they didn't have to pay for the cars, so they launched them off those jumps. But it looks like Plomasco is just gonna get spun around and keep going.
Yeah, it's like a little bit off a corner. He got a little bit tight up off of turn number 2 and got into the doors panel of, I believe, well, I don't recall who that was. Let's take a look back here one more time. It looks like Vernon Woodard, 73, got a little bit loose, and Plomasco tight, and kind of two drivers vying for the same real estate off of turn number 2. And, well, one guy got the short end of the stick, and that was the 471 of Plomasco here. Just past the halfway point, which it's been a very exciting race so far, Roger. It's been a little bit of everything, and I see that you have popcorn all over the ground, so it must be you got excited a few times.
Yeah, the popcorn went flying over here, Al, but I just was hit up on Twitter, and I was just messaged, it was not me, and I don't know if it's a Shaggy reference to that song back in the 90s, Wasn't Me, or if this is Josh Buckley saying, I did not cry when I got driven around at the racing school.
I don't believe it. I mean, I think there's video evidence of tears flowing through that mane of a beard that he has.
I mean, we could just ask Dan Butler. He was there that day. Obviously, Mike Taschereau was there. We'll be able to talk to them coming up here in a couple of weeks. Al, I think we're still planning possibly an April visit to the racing school. And race fans, you should too. So head on over to the RacingSchool.net today and pick up your package to head on over to the racing school. It looks like April is a launch date possibly for that one. So not only do you get to meet a couple of the iRacing competitors, you also get to meet a couple of us up here in the Turn 3 Racing Network studios, and we're making a big shindig of the week. But everybody has to stay 6 feet away.
Yeah, 6 feet away is the pace car. Is going to go 6 feet away. He'll pull down into the racetrack, and we are back underway. Vernon Woodard did get the EOL penalty, so clean up a little housekeeping there. So Woodard and Plomasco to the back of the field now as they roll off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Squirrel is going to jump out to your race lead. Hodgson able to get down to the inside. Now it's a good battle. Oh, hang on, Dolliver. Up the racetrack he will go. Move Taschereau to the 4th spot. Mike Taschereau driving like a man possessed here tonight up to the 4th spot, and he'll bring Ryan Battle as Dolliver is melting away on the outside of the racetrack.
Contact down the back straightaway. One of them going to be headed to the infield. That's the 32. It's the Swag TV Speedball Bearings entry of Eric Steele. He's on his lid. We stay green flag, and now the caution flag is going to come out.
Yellow flag coming out here. We are past the halfway point. Eric Steele doing his best impression of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there, that scene where they're on their backs spinning.
I saw you do that one time. You sent me the video from your doorbell where you went down the front stairs and you looked like that, too. That was pretty funny. That just reminded me of that. But let's take a look. Let's see what the truck has to say about this one. We just caught it out the corner of the picture. There you see they're going to be 3 wide. Carmen to the outside. Bietti stuck in the middle, and Steele down to the bottom. Carmen slid sideways. Steele nowhere to go, and boom, up over, and he did not stick the landing.
Now Carmen got a little bit loose there and kind of came down, and Steele, well, I would say he got the short end of that stick there. The Hellcat Monster Energy Kit Kat automobile got a little bit sideways and gave him the old tank slapper, and Steele went and did his Joey Chitwood impersonation over there. Did not stick the landing, so the Russian judge is going to give them a 0, but hopefully the Speedball Bearings Berry RC Raceway sponsor number 32 will be able to get back out on the racetrack here before we go back green flag racing.
So just over the halfway point home here in this one, and it has been all Kyle Willis. Qualified 5th, was inverted to the pole here tonight. So he has been our main leader. Joel Hodgson, Alan Young, Mike Tashro. How about Tashro? We keep pointing back to this number 33. And, you know, the reason we keep pointing back is because he is brand new to the iRacing server. He's only been on iRacing for, I think when I did look it up, Al, I believe it told me about 4.5 months. So 4.5 months to get caught up to the race pace that they are setting here tonight. That takes a lot of seat time.
It has a lot of seat time, and it takes a lot of patience to learn. There is a big learning curve. I've been working with a few of the real-world racers who have joined the iRacing service, and they said that they thought they'd be able to jump right in. Now, they understand the whole racing tactics, but it's completely different when you don't have that G-force underneath your tush. The feel what the car is doing, and it's different. There's definitely a different feel. It is a simulation. Some call it a game. It's pretty close, though, talking to these guys. As the field doubles up, we are going to go back green flag race. And Castro, though, going to have to start on the outside here. Kyle Willis going to hold on to the bottom. And I believe Eric Steele back out on the racetrack. So he should still be on the lead lap once we go back green flag racing.
Yeah, it's because the caution laps don't count here as the iRacing pace car dives it into pit road. We go back racing here after our fourth caution flag of the evening. 41 laps in the books, and down to the turn number one they go.
One car going around. That's your points leader up and over off of turn number 2. The 20 at David Greenslet. We've got more chaos off of turn number 2. So far we stay green. No yellow flag. Now it will fly. But we had chaos off of turn number 2, and it included their current points leader, the 20 of David Greenslet, has crashed off of turn number 2. As there was contact there, Roger. That was a heat race or a restart gone bad.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to reset the field as they did not get a lap in the books there. So Greenslet should be able to shuffle back in. Let's take a look here on our replay here. Let's see, as there's the Ben and Jerry machine down to the inside. Al, there was about a foot of netcode involved in that one. Rodney Hontu nowhere to go, and there you see Greenslet, and then Alan Young and all those drivers look like they actually got away from all that, but Carmen also went off track. Let's take a look and see what happened to Carmen here in his Hellcat Kit Kat Monster Energy. There you see Greenslet to the outside, and then they stack up 3, almost 4 wide, and then they're 3 wide again, and there's McCorby involved. There's Rodney Hontoon off the raceway. There's the 66 of Mike Young. He's also up there into the gravel trap. And looks like everybody's going to be able to drive it away. Just some damage there for Carmen.
Yeah, it looked like maybe some initial contact there on the restart with possibly the number 01 of Huntoon. Maybe it's hard to tell there. Everybody's just so stacked up, vying for so much real estate down in the corner. Oh, contact between Dolliver and the 20 of Greenslet started that one. Huntoon nowhere to go. And everybody else really just piling it in there on that restart. So tough break down in the turn number 1. Looked like a little bit of that nasty word that we don't like to say may have been involved with that one.
Yeah, netcode is the word that we don't like to talk about too often here on iRacing. And for everybody that's tuning in that doesn't know what netcode is, well, Al, you're sitting up in New York. I'm sitting here in Pennsylvania. The iRacing servers are based out of Massachusetts. So Al's signal has to go to Boston. My signal has to go to Boston. And then they crisscross, and his comes to me, and mine goes to his. Well, there's just a little bit of an internet connection interruption. That is going to create what netcode is, because iRacing is trying to simulate where your car would be at the time of that impact, and unfortunately you see the result of that right there. And I'm being told there will be no penalties assessed. Nobody's going to go to the back of the field. Everybody will get their spot back except for Ryan Carmen, who is down on pit road.
Yeah, we got a new race leader at the line there with the iRacing scoring. Goes back to last completed lap, and since they all went across the line, your new race leader is the 36 of Joel Hodgson. Hodgson edged out in front of the 55 of Willis here on this restart. So the driver that calls White Mountain Motorsports Park home is going to find himself as your race leaders. They work in the turn number 3. They're going to go back green flag racing. The lights on the pace car are off.
So as they get geared up, ready to go here, we're complete caution flag number 5. We'll re-rack, restack, and we're in the books, ready to go here. 42 laps now completed. Some contact down there. Kyle Willis into the door there of Joel Hodgson as they work down into turn number 1. It's not going to work out for Willis because here comes the 33 of Mike Taschereau. He's got the inside advantage, and he's got Ryan Battle lined up. Oh, Spinner in 3.
Yeah, 2 cars go around, maybe more now, as it looks like the number 46 is involved down in turn number 2. The 51 of Jonathan Latorno also involved here in this last yellow flag, 6th yellow flag coming out onto the racetrack. And they all know that the pay window is starting to get greased up. And I tell you who's going to be the beneficiary of that, I believe, will be Taschereau, as he was into the 2nd spot when that yellow flag came out. That goes back to last lap completed, so he'll restart in the 3rd spot. But talk about that yellow flag there, see if the truck has it queued up.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that queued here. Let's watch the 46, and there you see the 46 up and over already before that actually happened. Check it out from this angle. Let's see if this is a better one. There you see the 51, the Pop-Tart entry of Latorno into the back of the J&M Auto, and Rodney Hondoon also getting yeeted straight up and out.
Down the backstretch they went. They kind of, the 51 Latorno got into the back bumper of Drew Davis, it looked like, Roger. Watching from the angle I have here in the tower, and they kind of just went up, got to the 46 of Latorno, and or Lorendo, excuse me, and the 01 of Huntoon, just an innocent bystander once again. So tough group of events there for the 01 of Huntoon. Latorno down on pit road trying to get the damage fixed on that Pop-Tart number 51.
Well, as we pace here at the Oxford Plains Speedway tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75, we got to pay the bills. We'll be right back here with more racing action.
Go, Daddy!
Welcome back here to Oxford as the green flag is just about to come back out. There it is, the completion of caution number 6 tonight. 43 laps in the books. It's been a little bit of a grind them out right now, Al. Let's see if we can calm them back down as there's bumper tag down the back straightaway. They're going to go 3 wide as Ryan Battle showed the nose to the inside of the 33, but they will sort it out. It'll be Joel Hodgson still leading here with Taschereau, Willis, Battle, Young, Greenslit, and Wenzel all stacked up back here, battling to be in the final podium position.
Yeah, Ryan Battle really working the inside of the racetrack. Not afraid to use the chrome horn on the front of that one. He'll move the 33 up the racetrack as Taschereau holds on to your number 2 spot. Now Hodgson just grabbing the race lead and started to walk away on this restart. Kyle Willis, your leader that's going to lead the most laps here tonight, he is stuck on the outside. David Greenslet will work underneath him. Here comes Jeffrey Battle in car number 14. Always around at the end of these races. We really don't mention his name a lot at the first half of the race, but once the second half rolls in, that 14 seems to rise to the top of the field as he'll work underneath the 20 of Greenslit in the turn number 3.
That's because his flames are so hot out there as he bounces it off the curbing. In 3, he'll get around Greenslit. Greenslit going to try and battle back down to the inside. Not going to work contact behind him. That's Kyle Buck and Kyle Willis. The Kyles are wild, and boy, Kyle Willis right now is a pinball out there. He's getting moved and shuffled out of the way. He's now back to running in the 9th position. There's Dan Butler in the racing school, and actually it's his birthday here tonight, Al. Dan Butler, it's his birthday, and now he runs inside the top 10. He's picked up 13 spots.
Yeah, he's trying to make his way as he just cracked the top 10. Willis will slam the door shut and hold on to that 9th spot. You saw a little bit of contact there in front of him. As now Mike Taschereau's got shuffled to the outside. Ryan Battle has gotten by him. Here comes Jeffrey Battle. Can Taschereau fall back to 4th and slide in front of Greenslit? He will slam the door shut down in the turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, they'll come. Hodgson will lead lap number 50. 25 laps to go.
25 laps to go here at the RacingSchool.net 75, a main event here from the Oxford Plains Speedway. As there you see Jeffrey Battle. The flames are so hot. He's going to move the 16 of Ryan Battle up the speedway. Here comes Taschereau. He's going to try and fill the hole. Was not able to stuff the nose of that Pontiac in there. He's going to drive it off into the corner. Slides that front tire again, and well, he just holds on to the spot. So right now it's Hodgson, Jeffrey Battle, Ryan Battle, Mike Taschereau, David Greenslet, your top 5 with 23 to go this time by at the start-finish line.
Top 10 cars make it the top 11 cars. I have single filed it out. Racing a little bit deeper back here. Max Dolliver trying to work underneath the 0-1 of Rodney Huntoon as we got side-by-side action. The 18 Dan Butler's been shuffled to the outside. Just 3 laps to go. Is inside the top 10. Now has slid back to the 18th position. He works the outside off turn number 4 as he'll slide down. Pamasso is going to slam the door shut on that. Hopes of getting back to the inside. So Dan Butler getting the frustration of being stuck on the outside of the conveyor belt as they all work around the racetrack single file. Eric Steele a little bit sideways as he's got Huntoon all over the back bumper.
That's the battle to be inside the top 10. Both these cars have been involved in accidents here tonight as here comes the 802 Precision Machine. That is Rodney Huntoon working the inside of the speedway. He's going to put Eric Steele to the outside. And oh boy, now if you're Eric Steele, you're looking in the mirror and you're going, when am I ever going to be able to get down again? And he gets a little bit of a hip check there. That's going to be the number 29, the Ben & Jerry's entry of Dolliver. That moves the 32 up the speedway. Now it's going to be McCorby's chance. And oh, Eric Steele up into the marbles there, Al. His car is all sorts of out of shape. Might have a hole now right in front of Drew Davis, and yeah, Drew's going to fill that hole too. Drew down there onto the curbing.
Yeah, almost gave up a bobble there where Steele is going to get back down. And now they will run door to door through turns 3 and 4. And now here comes the 46 of Lorendo. Lorendo is going to fill the hole in the 46 of, I believe that's the 66 of Mike Young. Excuse me, both cars looking similar with that red color. Is they work through turns 3 and 4. Steele back up the racetrack. Steele has gone to the back to the front, and now has worked his way towards the back of the field after getting shuffled to the outside. So a tough break for that driver. Meanwhile, Joel Hodgson has opened up a 1.2 second lead over the 14 of Battle, who's got Ryan Battle all over his back bumper. Greenslet now up to 4th. Kyle Buck has cracked the top 5. And Alan Young all over the back bumper of him.
Yeah, Mike Taschereau's lost a couple spots. He got shuffled off the bottom side of the speedway, and he went up top side of the track, and the car would not stick up there. There you see him. He's back here running in the 7th position. Then it's the SimCube entry. That is the 03 of Wenzel. He's back here running 8th. Kyle Willis, who did lead the most laps here tonight, he's back to running 9th. And then it's Rodney Huntoon, Max Dolliver, McCorby, Woodard, Davis, and Lorendo, your top 15 drivers here as we're inside. 15 laps to go. 13 laps to go this time by, and looking at it last time by, Jeffrey Battle was the fastest car on the track along with Ryan Battle, so they're starting to reel back in. That 36 of Joel Hodgson, the question is, will it be in time? Last time by, once again, they were the 2 fastest cars on the speedway.
Yeah, just about a 1/10 of a second faster. Last time by, it was 1.2 seconds. Now the race lead down to 0.8, or we'll call it 0.9 seconds. So they've taken 3/10 off of this race lead as they have 12 laps to go. They are closing the gap. Now Battle starting the Jeffrey Battle, the 14, starting to put a gap over the 16 of Ryan Battle as now Greenslet has come into the fray. He wants the taste of the podium. Greenslet up 9 spots after starting 13th here tonight. Their 2 hard chargers of the race are the Battle cars, both up 17 spots at the current moment.
Mike Taschereau, the only other driver to pick up double-digit moving spots. He's up 10 positions in the Racing School entry. Looks like Max Dolliver having himself a battle here with Kyle Willis. Willis going to get moved up the speedway. He's going to lose another spot. He loses it to Dolliver, and now he's going to lose a spot here to McCorby. Just behind them, Vernon Woodard is right there also, and, well, looks like it will be David Greenslet working the inside of the speedway also, so he'll pick up the 3rd spot. So that'll move Ryan Battle back 1, and there is Kyle Buck in the B-tuned entry. He's going to drive it in. He's going to rub a little paint off that 16 in the 05. They're going to trade a little bit. Not sure that that Ryan Battle wants a little bit of that rusty B-tuned color on that pretty white machine, but he's going to get a little bit of that rubbed down the side of that left rear quarter panel. Here comes Alan Young. He'll be in the fray. We're under 10 laps to go, 7 to go here this time by for Joel Hodgen. He has himself about, just under a second back to Ryan Battle.
Yeah, Jeffrey Battle jumps the curb and he's get some bumper contact. So a mistake out of the 14. That's going to open up the race lead as Eric Steele makes the hard left-hand turn into the pits in front of your race leader. Almost 2 seconds now. Great battle for second spot as they work through turns 1 and 2. The 20 of David Greenslet to the inside. Jeffrey Battle works the outside. They will battle in the turn number 3. Off of turn 4 they come. And Greenslet now into your number 2 spot. 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go that time by at the line. Greenslet took second. Now third for Kyle Buck. Ryan Battle going to have to battle with Jeffrey Battle, and Alan Young is right there. The 14 of Jeffrey has given up that looks like the 4th position for the time being. Now he's going to fall back into 6th, see if he can regroup. 4 laps to go. Joel Hodgen has about call it a Sunday evening 2-second gap back to David Greenslet. Right
One
now,
car
though,
sliding on the front stretch. The 46 of Laurendale has spun and flopped it. He'll pull down in the infield. We will stay green for the time being. 3 laps to go as the 46 of Laurendale had got hooked and went around the racetrack. The 14 of Jeffrey Battle sideways. He'll check up. Tashero has gone around on the front stretch as well.
yeah, Mike Tashero has gone around. He gets it refired. Popsicle sticks go into the air, though. 2 laps to go for Joel Hodgen. He does not want to see a caution flag right now. He would be able to pick up his first win of the season. He'll come out of turn number 4 this time by. He'll look up at the flag stand. It'll be 1 lap to go for the driver of the 36. 1 lap left here at the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Final trip around the speedway down the backstretch for the final time for the 36 to Hodgson. He's just got to keep it pointed in the right direction. Off of turn number 4, the checkered flag is up. Hodgson is going to pick up the win. The battle for second is going to go to Greenslet. Buck will finish 3rd. Battle and Young rounding out your top 5.
Contact coming across the line for the top 10 position. It looks like it's going to be McCorby. It looks like Wenzel's going to get scored way down the timing and scoring. He'll go to the last car on the lead lap. That'll be 15th. All your results scrolling on the left-hand side of your screen. Those are, of course, unofficial. As you see, the winner of the race event here tonight, presented by theracing.school.net. It's the driver out of the White Mountain Motorsports Park, the American Canadian Tour late model driver. He won the championship up there at Thunder Road, the Speed Bull Owl, back in 2018 as the Tiger champ. He goes to victory lane here, though, for the first time this season.
He does a great night of racing coming to a close here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Got chippy towards the end of the race, but you know that pay window starts to get greased up, and you know that everybody wants to be in victory lane, wants to come up and talk to you, the myth, the legend, the Muth in the booth.
Well, I don't know about all that, but Joel Hodgen, he's going to do some victory donuts, and as he does the donuts, we're going to cut the mics, and we'll be back here with our post-race show at the conclusion of the RacingSchool.net 75. Welcome back here, race fans, to the post-race show tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75 here from the Oxford Plains Speedway. As you see right there on your screen, your race winner tonight, driver of that number 36. He races up there. Well, he did race at the Thunder Road Speed Bowl. He races up there at White Mountain Motorsports Park. Man, Joel, you had to earn this one, though. You started inside the top 5, but it wasn't an easy road to get to the front of this field. How did you get to the lead, and how did you run away at the end of this one?
Yeah, I just tried to keep my tires there and not burn them up, and ended up getting Kyle in the restart, which was huge. And it's nice that the 14 and 20 were battling out the last couple laps, so it kind of gave me some breathing room.
Yeah, the breathing room. But when you saw David Greenslit moving to second there with about 7 laps to go. Did you start to worry that if a caution flag came out, you were going to have to battle with that 20 machine?
Oh yeah, I knew he was going to be right there. I was really hoping there wouldn't be a yellow, and everything all played out.
It plays out for you here tonight, Joel. The stars aligned. I don't know if you got snow up there, but we have plenty of snow down here if you need some. Since you're inside running on the sim rig here, you let the snow sit outside. But tonight, you park it in Victory Lane. Who do you got to thank?
Oh, I just want to thank the Northeast Racer guys for letting me run this. I've been doing it for like 3 years, and this is my first win, so I'm pretty pumped.
Well, there you hear from Joel Hodge, and he is your winner here tonight at the Oxford Plains Speedway. The driver back in 2018 was the Tiger champ at Thunder Road Speed Bowl, and of course runs the late models in the American Canadian Tour. So he goes to Victory Lane for the first time ever with the Northeast Racers, and what a better, there's no better of a place to find Victory Lane than Oxford. Let's see.
Yeah.
I believe, Al, you're standing by down there, I think, eating a hot dog.
I was paying attention and trying not to get ran over here on the front stretch as we've caught up with the driver that calls Claremont Motorsports Park home, and comes in as the championship leader and will come out as a championship leader. But it was a one heck of a race for you, David. Talk about the action. You had that restart that sent you up over the hill, and the yellow flag come out, and luckily it gave it the spot back there. But talk about the races overall. It seemed it was very hectic, and up 11 spots. Your race just was an uphill battle, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. There's no outside here, so when you got stuck out there, it seemed like every single restart I was out there, you couldn't get to the front. I saved tires quite a bit, and I noticed the last few laps there, the Battle Boys were starting to get loose, and I couldn't. I just capitalized on that and got underneath them. I was hoping for this would have been a 100-lap race. I might have had something for Joel, but being 75-lap race and Joel winning, that's congrats. He's been with this league for quite some time now, and it was fun.
Definitely was a great race all the way around. And talk about how frustrating it is when that yellow flag comes out and you look down, or your spotter comes on the radio and says, well, good news is it's yellow flag. We're going to be able to regroup to the leaders. The bad news is you're going to be on the outside. We saw a lot of marbles being built up on the outside. How tricky was it on the restart starting on that outside?
Very tricky. You just couldn't overdrive the corner. You had to lift really early and just let it roll through the corner, and just wait till you could get to the bottom. That was the hardest part. You couldn't make any headway on the outside at all. Unlike a lot of the tracks we're running on here, there is some outside, and here there's just nothing. It's just it was a hot track, greasy, and it was fun though.
Fun was the key word. Next week we head to the state of Virginia, to the South of Boston Speedway. That track can cause a lot of heartburn for championship leaders like yourself. What's the outlook for you and your team next week as we head to South Boston?
That's one of my better tracks, probably just because there's 2 grooves there. You can run the outside after about half of the race. It'll come into it, and you can really roll the outside there. So we're really looking forward to that one.
Well, we're looking forward to it as well. But before we let you go and roll through tech here to make everything official, who makes it all possible for you in this 20 team?
Vermont Custom Cabinetry, LFOD Motorsports, Backwoods Trophy Outfitters, all the guys that run this league. I put this together probably 10 years ago now, and it's grown, and we got a real good group of people now.
Definitely do. Congratulations on second place. Roger, that is your championship leader. That's David Greenslit, and he'll come home in the P2 position. I believe you are just one car down to the left here with our third place finisher, Kyle Buck.
Yeah, coming home tonight, finishing in that 3rd position. Kyle, you picked up 6 spots here tonight. The B-tuned entry looked very quick, but you ran out of laps. 3rd here tonight. How did you manage to wiggle your way through this field?
I mean, honestly, David kind of covered it. I mean, the outside groove, it seemed like every restart, I looked down, I'm in 8th place. And I'm like, man, I swear I was just up a little farther than that. And you just got to work your way in and find a hole, really. And like he said, at the end there, it seemed like we saved just enough to try to battle toward the front. And I had a couple hard spots to get in, and I just kind of made it happen and followed him up through.
Following him up through. Towards the end of this one, though, you really had a good battle down there with that number 16 of Ryan Battle. You two were trading paint at the end of this one. When the pay window starts to open up, does the temper start to get underneath that helmet?
I've been known to scratch down the side of a few cars in my time. So, I mean, yeah, he was kind of pinching me a little bit. So I gave him a little door check to make sure he knew I was still there. And seemed like it sorted itself out and came home with a third.
Come home with third. Tonight we were here at Oxford. Your hometown track is up there at the Claremont Motorsports Park running street stocks. Any comparison from these street stocks in Oxford to your street stocks in Claremont?
I mean, it's just as rusty as the one that I was driving, but it's not as much banking, I guess. It's a weird track.
Well, weird track it is, but good enough for you tonight to finish in the third position. Who do you got to thank? Who's on the side of these cars here tonight?
Pretty much just thank the fans that support this league and pretty much the Northeast Racers, David and Tony, for putting everything on, you guys for coming in and watching our shenanigans every weekend, and just glad we could put on a show.
There you heard it from the driver of the 05. He calls the Claremont Motorsports Park home. It's the B2 driver of Kyle Buck. He'll round out our podium here tonight. Al, it was a great show. Let's take a quick look here at our unofficial results from Oxford. 75 laps is complete, and this is, of course, not heat race number 1 here tonight. This is our feature event. Let's see if our producer can get... There it is, Al. Now we have it. New producer down on the truck. Sometimes he doesn't push the right buttons. But Joel Hodgson, you heard from him. David Greenslick, Kyle Buck. Ryan Battle battled up inside the top 5, and he finishes 4th here tonight. Alan Young was 5th with Jeffrey Battle, Rodney Hondoon, Max Dolliver, Paul McCorby, and Nathan Wenzel rounding out the top 10. A couple of these other drivers back here, they had a little bit of a rough, wild night here. Drew Davis, he was up and out of the ballpark at one time with his Vermont Cabinetry number 22. He's going to come home 11th with Mike Young sitting in 12th. Eric Plamasco was 13th with Vernon Woodard in the 14th position. Dan Butler was 15th on his birthday, and of course Kyle Willis is 16th. Mike Taschereau, towards the end of this one, he had a little bit of issues there, and he's going to finish back into the 17th position. 18th is going to be Eric Laurendo, and it's going to be Casey Bietti, the youngster. Eric Steele turned a couple extra laps in the reverse direction after this one, but 20th is only good enough for him. It's going to be 21st for Ryan Carmen. Jonathan Latorno going to be 22nd, and Milton Duran rounds out our 23 starting field here tonight. But man, Al, Oxford, we knew this short track, this 3/8 of a mile track was going to put on a show, and it did.
It definitely did, and he thought tonight put on a show. Wait till we get to the tight confines of the South Boston Speedway in 1 week's time. We talked to David Greenslet about that. It will have multiple grooves. The thing that's very tricky about South Boston next week, Roger, is that there's walls all the way around that racetrack, on the straightaways, in the corners, on the outside and inside. So when there's trouble, it becomes a parking lot quick, and this could be a big trouble track for your championship hopefuls here. David Greenslick going to come into next week's action in the championship lead, but getting through South Boston, surviving it, is going to be key with only 3 races left on the schedule.
Yeah, and those races are, of course, the South Boston Speedway, the Bull Ring, Southern National, and actually Thompson now. So we do actually have 4 to go. We get that championship night at the Thompson Speedway when it looks like March rolls around. So for everybody at theracingschool.net, everybody over at LFOD Motorsports, the Northeast Racers, and of course, all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, that's Al Smith, I'm Roger Muth. And until we see you next Sunday night with the Northeast Racers, race fans, we hope you all stay safe, stay warm with the cold weather coming up north.